Well, Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. What a win that came in through in the added 6 minutes of the full 90. Guys, it is really one of those games that you obviously understand exactly why we had to obviously go ahead and obviously win it. If at all you know what the game of football is all about, we are here obviously to let you know what this club of football is all about. And these are moments that define Manchester United, that never say die. This is what we call the Fergie time. If you've been watching Manchester United for a very long time, we went ahead to win very many games in what we call the Fergie time. And what is the Fergie time? Every time United really went ahead to obviously score goals in the dying minutes, occasionally it went to be referred to as a Fergie time. And it resonates with exactly the day that the woman of Sir Alex Ferguson was going to hate to die. And it had to be like this, because you cannot obviously pile misery to our former manager by losing at Old Trafford a third game in a row. Remember, we lost to Crystal Palace last weekend. We lost to Galatasaray in the midweek, and today if we went ahead to lose at Old Trafford, it would have been one of the records of Sir Alex Ferguson broken at the stadium of Old Trafford. Even a PE coach that we refer to as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer couldn't lose a game like this, or couldn't lose 3 games consecutively at Old Trafford. And it has gonna hate to happen to be the geniusness of Erik ten Hag. We are going to think about it. Scott McTominay scoring a brace, Garnacho brevity, right? And obviously how we obviously went ahead to obviously understand that the mistake we did against Galatasaray and Crystal Palace to see us lose, we obviously went ahead to rectify it. Because one thing that we failed to do in those 2 games was to obviously get the composure. And you saw to it that even when we were goal down, we played when we were calm. You get? We got that ball and obviously knocked it around slowly by slowly. And where a quick pass was really required, we obviously went ahead to obviously see it coming in through. And that is Manchester United. Scott McTominay coming off the bench around the 90th minute and obviously scores a brace for Manchester United. And I was really watching in the commentary, and the commentator said that maybe Ten Hag brings him to see whether he does exactly, or he replicates what he does for Scott McTominay, and obviously, what he does for his national team, that is Scotland, and replicate it onto the field of play. And that's exactly what Scott McTominay is going to hate to do to help us really get this well-desired win. And shame upon you who were there holding their tweets. Some people had already gone ahead to manufacture their tweets, all their exes on their X accounts, ready to tweet and obviously start laugh and obviously try to make memes out of the players of Manchester United. But shame upon you, it ended in the game of Galatasaray and Crystal Palace, and this time round you are going to mock nobody into this beautiful game of football. And it's Man United winning this game of football in a very Man United way. And I know one will say that, Rokan, why are you looking very happy? First and foremost, when I was doing the match day live, I came here and told you that this game is going to end 2-1 in favor of Man United. That is it. Do you know why? I knew exactly what it meant when you're having Harry Maguire and Evans, because you can't play what we call a high line, because these players really lack pace. Yet Mbeumo and Wissa are really pacey players, and I knew that it's not going to obviously take us to that level. But I put up a disclaimer that even if you're playing with Harry Maguire and John Evans, we are supposed to win this beautiful game of football because we are at home and these players are really better levels, and they've gone ahead, by the way, to defend very well. When you look at Harry Maguire, he's responsible for the assist of the second goal that Scott McTominay scores that has gone ahead to give us a win. And today, I might tell you, I've not seen Harry Maguire make any mistake. The only mistake I think he did was around the 30th minute of the game, when he obviously went ahead to obviously foul a player into the half of into the half of Brentford. But the rest of the things, Harry Maguire got them right, and I would like to obviously come in through and hail him for that day. And people will always say that, Rokani, there are some players you hate because of your agendas. Guys, I don't hate players. I criticize players. If a player comes in through and puts in a very good performance, I'll hail him. If a player puts up a abysmal performance, I'll come out and not give him the hells he deserves. That is it, because this is my job. I'm supposed to be objective, even if players like Anton Martial that I love, Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, name it, Casemiro, if performs badly like today, I have to come out and obviously call him out, because I know that he's obviously throwing himself in a position that affects our team negatively. And secondly, why the celebration? If you're a person who believes in Erik ten Hag and believes into a theory that the Glazers have to first get out of this club and this club gets better and we have no reason to get Ten Hag out of the job, you have to be celebrating this win. This win is for all those people that want Erik ten Hag to stay on the job. I'm not saying that if at all he lost today, they are going to sack him. They are not going to sack him. They were not going to sack him because even if you look around the world market, where are coaches? Which coaches are available to come in and transform the team of Man United? Can the Glazers sack a manager when they don't have money to obviously compensate him? They don't even have manager. They don't even have money to back the new manager, because every new manager that comes in at the club of Man United will demand for a very huge budget, and he'll tell them, get us a budget, and the Glazers are not willing to obviously give him this budget. So this win, secondly, I'm celebrating it for Erik ten Hag. Why? The pressure that has been on him is really immense. Look again today, the way we conceded that goal. It's Casemiro giving out a sloppy pass again. You get? And we obviously see ourselves conceding. And in that circumstance, where do you blame the manager? Where do you have to blame the manager? You don't have to blame the manager. You get? Like the game of Galatasaray. Where do you blame the manager when you concede such goals? For the Onana foul, for the Onana blind pass, and you come out and blame the manager. I don't think this manager deserves a sack, and that's why I'm celebrating it, because at least we're going to go into the international break when words have gone ahead to obviously calm down, and settle down. We had already seen stories that there is toxicity into the United dressing room, lots of rumors being traded all over, that it's obviously going to affect Man United in a negative way. And the players have gone ahead to put up a show to show to it that we are ready to fight for this manager. Now, trust me, if this team was not behind the manager, they were going to surrender this game, because it had reached the 94th minute and we had not obviously scored any goal, and all we had was no chance to obviously go in and obviously win this beautiful game of football. This team is behind the manager. That is it. This team is behind the manager. If a team is not behind the manager and there is toxicity as being traded around in the dressing room, they don't put out a show. They don't put out a show like we're going to have to pull out, because this will be like a chance for them to obviously say, now, we've gone ahead to lose 2 games in a row. Let's lose another one at Old Trafford and see this manager sacked, because these players have gone ahead to do this to different managers. That is it. They've done it to Louis van Gaal. They've done it to Jose Mourinho. They've done it to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You get? And they did it to Ralf Rangnick. Right? So, if these players were not behind the manager, they wouldn't have gone ahead to pull out this. They wouldn't have gone ahead to pull out this. And it showed you that even Harry Maguire, who is obviously known into good position with the manager, has gone ahead to perform very well, has gone ahead to contribute for the second goal, if gone ahead to score. And every person you have gone ahead to pinpoint on, obviously, he is obviously with the manager. I think where Jadon Sancho was when he was losing was all smile, saying, all right, let Ten Hag lose and get sacked. Maybe a new manager will obviously get me into the team. Shame on you, Jadon Sancho, because all what has been lacking at Man United have been what we call standards, levels that we need at this club of Man United, that Erik ten Hag is instilling. And if at all there is anyone who's going to obviously not see this go on to his or her good way, then that person is an enemy for this club. Ten Hag is the right manager for this club. I know very many people are not even ready to obviously welcome this, but let's give credit where it's due. We win this game because of what the manager does. He obviously makes substitutions that are really forward attack minded. What he does, take off Casemiro because he was not obviously playing the way the manager told him to play, and it costed us a goal. And Ten Hag just went ahead to punish him, and he saw to it that Casemiro went off the field of play at the beginning of the second half. When he's not happy, you saw the look on his face, and obviously that shows you exactly what the manager is all about, and it obviously takes us to where we want to be, that even if Casemiro really does a mistake, he needs to be punished. Casemiro, by the way, to me was one of the best players at Man United last season. And this season, he has not yet gone ahead to step into where he deserves to be. I mean, it's him being the top scorer of the team. He has gone ahead to score 4 goals this season. But he is lacking a little bit. He is lacking a little bit. Even when you look at the yellow card that he gets in the middle of the week, the first one, I don't mean the second one. The first one is uncalled for. Even the second one. We are really goals. And you know, to eat that, when you cause a penalty, we are obviously going to really concede the third goal and they're going to send you off the field of play. That is Casemiro. He risked in there for you. He wouldn't have gone ahead to risk that way, according to me. But Casemiro has been taken off the field of play. And I think it's a lesson to everyone at the team of Man United that no one is untouchable. No one is untouchable. Because when Casemiro was taken off the field of play, we obviously let Amrabat play into the single pivot. Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, we are playing as 2 number 10s ahead of Amrabat. And you saw to it that we are really playing very well. And something that Eriksen brings to that team is what we call composure. When he gets that ball, he doesn't just kick it around like Bruno does. You know, I've been a critic of Bruno on what he does, the Hollywood stupid passes that he does on every game, because we lose games like that. See today that you've gone ahead to put in very many crosses into the 18 yards box area of the opponent, and we cannot win them. Then why do you again continue to do the same? Because we reached an extent when you're predictable. Look at the corners. You bring those corners, and they are all won by opponents. You know, Pinnacle was like Pinnacle, winning every header. You know, every area duel, it was won by the guy. And stupidly, we continue to put in such stupid shifts. That is what I really call common sense, because there are certain things that Erik ten Hag does not even need to tell these players. You know, but when Eriksen came in through, you saw a little bit of composure, that he got the ball and obviously found the right passes. You saw to it that Amrabat was committing into the final positions of the pitch, and he gave us exactly what we desired as a team of Man United. And you saw to it that even when Casemiro was away, we never missed him. And this is what we need in our team. We need 2 players competing for each position to see to it that if one is underperforming, there is a person who can come in through and obviously get the job done and dusted. And that is what we've gone ahead to see today, that Amrabat comes in through, he gets us to where we deserve to be, and we don't miss Casemiro. You get? And it was a very good show off, because we know it that in the game you're going to play against Copenhagen at Old Trafford, Casemiro is out. He's not going to be playing part in that game, meaning that Sofiane Amrabat is going to be playing to that central midfield. And there is something that Amrabat does. Have you seen his drive through the midfield? He has gone ahead to drive us through the midfield and has gone ahead to give us a different case altogether. You've seen him forward, a CDM, doing those runs through the center of the park. And those center of the park runs are the ones that obviously penetrate or make it easy for our team to penetrate into the final third to obviously get to where we deserve to be. And it showed you that the team was fighting for the money. The other player that has been shown that we are not ready for your nonsense is Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has been taken off and Garnacho has been brought on. And I believe Ten Hag even took long to take off Marcus Rashford off that field of play, because I don't remember anything positive that Marcus Rashford was offering, apart from a cutback cross that he brought in. I think it was like 1. But what else did Marcus Rashford have to do in that game? You know, it takes your brain to do a lot of work to obviously see to it that you remember exactly what Marcus Rashford is going to do on the field of play. And we look at when Garnacho came on through, he has gone ahead to give him a show. He has showed him that this is what you are supposed to do. You see the threat that Garnacho really brings into the final third of the pitch. It's really unrated. And this is what we need. And Rashford is struggling with form and is playing very many minutes and not showing us what exactly is made of, you know. And Garnacho is coming in to show him that this is what you're supposed to be doing. And if I'm Erik ten Hag, the next game we play, I don't start Garnacho. I don't start Marcus Rashford, because he doesn't deserve to start. Let him come off the bench and see how he's obviously going to react, because maybe he needs to obviously come off the bench and obviously jumpstart himself from that like that and use that as a springboard to bounce back to where he deserves to be as a player. And that's why I love the manager, Erik ten Hag. Guys, I'm going to come in through your comment section, but we are having 230 people watching in through and only 23 likes, guys. Smash the like button close to 100 times, guys. Let's smash the like button close to 100 times, and let's obviously make it a point that we obviously do the needful. But Scott McTominay came on through and really scored in the 90th plus 3rd minute plus the 90th plus 7th minute to give us the win that went ahead obviously to really gate as a club of Manchester United. Let me show you how the stats of the game were and how we obviously went ahead to look on the night before I really come into your comments to react to them one by one. Now, 21 shots by Man United, Brentford had 11, 8 shots on target. I always tell you that the reason as to why you don't get half of the total shots we have on target is because of the composure. Every time we get composure, every time the composure is right, obviously things go on well. And we had only 8, and I think we're going to have to do better. And having predictable players like Mason Mount denied us chances to obviously kill off the game. Like when Bruno really released Mason Mount, instead of obviously damning and faking this player of Brentford, he went in for a shot. Why go in a shot like that? Just fake him out, like you've seen Rasmus Højlund do, but he couldn't obviously find the right space to obviously shoot because a lot of players were really surrounding him. That is Rasmus Højlund. But we need players who are really unpredictable. 3 shots on target by Brentford, 65% ball possession by Manchester United, 35% ball possession by Brentford, 545 passes completed by Man United. Brentford completed 316 passes. Then 87% passing accuracy by Man United, and Brentford had 71%. 10 fouls by Manchester United, Brentford had 17. 0 yellow cards to Man United, very much disciplined, and 5 yellow cards to Brentford. Guys, they are really rough, and they obviously sort of it's that their manager really made substitutions we're not supposed to make because most of his players were really on yellow cards. 0 red cards to both sides, 4 offsides to Man United and 0 offsides to Brentford, 7 corners to Man United and 5 corners to Brentford. And one thing we need to work about, guys, it's our set piece play. Our set play needs to improve, guys. We don't need to obviously act the same way. We are predictable. Why don't we obviously go in for the short start of the corners and be unpredictable? Because every time you go long, we have failed to win those corners, and we need to obviously sometimes go long and sometimes go short, find a player on the edge of the Tina's box area to obviously go in for short, because those are things that are really basic knowledge. That is not rocket science. You don't need to obviously be one of the brightest in the world to know to it that such needs to be done for the club of Man United. And what is the set piece coach of United doing? Because we are not doing these drills, I think we last saw this drill, the drill I saw this season that was really trained on the training ground was the second goal we scored against Nottingham Forest that Casemiro scored. That was a training ground goal, purely because Bruno plays a short set play to Rashford. Rashford takes his first touch, and the second touch was deliberately looking for Bruno at the far post, and Bruno hits that ball to find Casemiro, and Casemiro used the front of his boot to top it into the back of the net. That's what I call about set plays. That is execution of the highest order. And if at all you go in for such, it's very easy to break down teams like this, because a team like Brentford, it will have close to 10 buddies behind your goal line, and what are you going to do? 10 buddies behind the goal line, and they're obviously going to really ruin your night. But by so doing, we have to obviously do the needful and obviously find means obviously making it better. Now, let's go to your comments. Dan Champion, Scott and Casemiro can also do the same thing. All right, but for Scott McTominay, I've always told you that he plays better as a number 8. He cannot do better as a CDM. Let no one lie to you. He plays better as a number 8 because each and every time you let him really thrive in the final third of the pitch, he runs well with the ball, and he can obviously get you moments of brilliance like that in the game. That is Scott McTominay for you. Akugiziwe Sebastian, hey Rokani, our problem is Onana. I understand there have been questions on Onana on the goal that we conceded, but for my case, for me, all what I need is let's go for this run of wins. That is it. Let's go for this run of wins. If at all we continue going for this run of wins and win every time and obviously get it where we deserve to be, we are obviously going to be a different kind of team altogether, and we are going to lift ourselves high in the sky. That is it. But the moment we don't obviously continue winning, then you're going to see more pressure piled onto the players, because I want to see us go on a very good winning run or winning spell of very many games, and then after we'll obviously start judging our players. That is it. But all what we want, let's get back the winning mentality back. Obviously, that goal has been in, but it's going to have to pull out close to three saves. I think that we're going to have to obviously cost us on the night, and it's going to pull out some good saves. His distribution was really okay, and I think all what we need is to start winning. The more we win, the more we are going to see Andre Onana giving us the best that we deserve from him. But the entire team is struggling, you know. The entire team is struggling. He's just come into the league. He's new, and you don't expect him to hit the ground running, because I think the only goalkeeper of United that I saw hit the ground running and stay here for so long was Edwin van der Sar. Do you know why? Edwin van der Sar came in at Man United when he was like 32 years of age, I think in 2006, and he was here for like 5 good years at the club of Man United, and then he was at Fulham. He was a Premier League proven goalkeeper and a world-class goalkeeper. He was a ball-playing goalkeeper, good shot stopper, and he was really a good commander of the central defense. That's why he never struggled when he came in at Man United. Fabian Barthez struggled, you know. Tim Howard struggled, and all those were really sold. Ben Foster struggled. David De Gea in his first year, he first struggled, and then he came good, you know. So all I want is us winning. Adepare Opeyemi, Man United, thank you. Okori Isaac, Onana is our nightmare. But before you talk about Onana, talk about Casemiro, and obviously what he went ahead and obviously did, that obviously led us to obviously concede that first goal, because the entire team is in transition. Guess what Casemiro does? Casemiro puts out a sloppy pass, yet he had very many players behind him and on his sideways that were really well placed, but he gives out a pass sloppily, and it costs us. When you're playing teams like Brentford, you don't lose a ball in your half like that. You get? You have to make it sure that you make it neat. And look at Sofiane Amrabat today. We've gone ahead to obviously blame him for the previous games. We are going ahead to cost us like 3 goals. But you've seen it that when he's playing the midfield, he doesn't put a pass wrong. Have you seen Sofiane Amrabat put a pass wrong today? He hasn't, because he's being played into his perfect position, and he's obviously getting to where he deserves to be. Musisi Samuel, Mctominay, all right, he has gone ahead to do the needful, and Mctominay wins it today. Then Katama Sowedi, no, bro, Ten Hag has poor decision making, but I think today Ten Hag has gone ahead to make good substitutions. We called in for our pivot of Casemiro and Amrabat. We've seen it, you know, and the only undoing for him is starting Bruno Fernandes onto the right and put Mount into the central attacking midfield. That is not going to work, because Bruno Fernandes offers a lot to this team when he's playing the central attacking midfield, and we miss out a lot when he's being played wide, you know, because he also brings in a play that takes us to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United. But I think today the substitutions Ten Hag has gone ahead to make have been really very positive, that have gone ahead to win us the game. Garnacho, Scott McTominay, Anthony Eriksen, you know, and Anton Martial. 5 forward-minded substitutions have gone ahead to obviously lift us to the levels of lifting this win. And guys, it's really important that we are going to go international break when we've gone ahead to register this win, because now the narrative is going to change. The narrative is going to change, and they're going to say, what if he comes in through and obviously doesn't win against Sheffield? That's what they're going to say. But we also have injuries. You are talking about Erik Ten Hag, but have you put in consideration that we are playing with almost our entire back 4 injured? Bissaka is injured, Lisandro Martinez is injured, Luke Shaw is injured, Rafael Varane is out. So you have to give this manager benefit of doubt that is operating under abnormal situations, you know. Most of the players like Amrabat, he looks like has been playing at Man United for a very long time, but remember, he came in the deadline day. The manager wanted Amrabat at the beginning of the summer transfer window, but the Glazers couldn't go ahead and obviously find means of getting Sofiane Amrabat in. That is very lousy of the club of Manchester United, and it obviously boils out into the Glazers out. We need these Glazers out. You know, we need a technical director. We need a sports or a director of football that's going to have to do the job elsewhere. That's why we are linked to the technical. That's why we are linked to the director of football at Atletico Madrid. That is it, because lots of things are not going on well. This manager cannot perform at the same level like Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, who have really proven technical directors and director of football that are going to have to do it elsewhere. That is really abysmal. You know, it cannot really happen. You know, because however much he did perform the miracle last season, this season might not be the case because Liverpool is going to hate to rise. Look at Spurs. They've going to hate to rise too. So it shows you exactly that we need our setup to obviously be where it deserves to be. Then Haruna Muyingo, yes, R&D, we can still make it. Obviously, we can still make because we have the players and the squad is obviously doing well. Then Katama Sowedi, we need Benderi in goal. That's not how things work, you people. You know, for me, changing a goalkeeper is very hard. Do you know why? You cannot judge how good a goalkeeper is in 10 games. That is it. You just have to give Andrew Onana this entire season. That is it. Like it or not, Andrew Onana is the first choice goalkeeper for Man United and is going to be here for a very long period of time. Let's match like Barton to 100 times. We're having 150 people watching in through, and only 37 have gone ahead to smash like Barton. Then Zulu, still Onana remain useless goalkeeper. Can't compare the hair. Guys, you know, sometimes you people are going to eat your words. You are going to eat your words. All I know is that Andrew Onana is a very good goalkeeper, but look at how the team is performing. You know, look at how the team is performing. So, how many games are we going to have to lose when it's Andrew Onana? Did we lose to Spurs because of Andrew Onana? Did we lose to Arsenal because of Andrew Onana? You know, I think for me, I'm having two games that we're going to have to lose because of Andrew Onana. The game of Bayern Munich and the game of Galatasaray. Take those two games off. They lost to Crystal Palace. You know, do you blame it on Andrew Onana? No. They lost to Arsenal, Brighton, Tottenham Hotspur. 4 losses. You cannot blame them to Andrew Onana. You get? All right. Let's get those two and hype them on Andrew Onana. We are having more 4. You get? More 4 losses when Andrew Onana is not the problem. So, let's not obviously look at Andrew Onana. He's here for his first year. Give him a benefit of doubt. Trust him, because David De Gea will never return, and if at all he fails in the second season, then you obviously try to call him out, because we'll have gone ahead to obviously been given the time he deserves to thrive at the club of Man United. Onana is another one. Let him avoid shock in the field of play. Taiwa Ivan, Mahad Kasozi. Onana should go on the bench. He won't go on the bench, guys. He won't go on the bench. Onana is good, guys. He's good, but trust me, he is new to the Premier League. And look at how the team is performing. We are not performing very well, and we are really struggling everywhere. Mikel Garnacho can't perform well when he starts. Guys, he can. The only 2 games that he started and performed very badly were the game of Spurs and the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it was not that he performed very badly, but the end product to his game was really bad. Would have gone ahead to perform better, you know. But you see to it that when he's playing alongside Anton Martial, Rasmus Højlund with him, he's really lively, because these players can even match the same wavelength of his talent. You know, the exchange of passes is really elite, and you can as well enjoy the player and obviously get to know that everything is going on well. Muhammad Chesula, thank you for watching through. I know Mugishawili, the problem we still have is the owners, because they have costed us a lot. You are very understanding. You people, if you really don't know the problem at Man United, the problem is the Glazers. The Glazers are the problem as to why you're performing like this, and you're obviously losing out on very many games. You know, they cannot obviously get the manager what he wants, because if you look at this transfer window, the manager wanted Declan Rice, the manager wanted Kim Min-jae, the manager wanted Harry Kane, the manager wanted maybe Disasi. You get? I think the only 2 players he wanted and really came in throughout Man United were Mount and Onana, because for Rasmus Højlund was supposed to be a backup striker for Harry Kane. That is it. So the Glazers are really doing more harm than good to this team of Man United, and we have to believe it. Armstrong, the manager, need to bench Rashford for Garnacho, drop Mount, play Bruno, and put Anthony Santos as number 7. But Casemiro without Amrabat. I know that Casemiro and Amrabat are obviously going to look good, but with the way we are going to obviously play, Casemiro needed to obviously be taken off the field of play to understand that we are fed up of such mistakes in the midfield. That is it. And last season, he walked away with it. Do you know why? We only had him. But this time around, you're having a player in Sofian Amrabat who can obviously come in through and do the job. That's why you've seen it that he has found himself in a position of being taken off after 45 minutes. And that's the ruthlessness I want to see at Man United. No player is really in good books with the manager if at all he doesn't perform very well. You perform badly, the manager throws you off the bench. Mahad Kasozi, we need a new sponsor. That is, we need new owners, all right. Moses Ruaboni, but Bruno and Mount can't play together well. I think the only way they can play together well is when you put Mason Mount as a right winger. That is it. And to me, I believe, however much Ten Hag went ahead to buy Mount, but Mount is going to turn out as a player that is not going to be used a lot into the system of Man United, because when Kobe Menu returns, Amad Diallo returns, you know, how is Mason Mount going to get to the team of Man United? Because Ten Hag will be having Casemiro, Sofian Amrabat, Kobe Menu, who can obviously do a better job than him. And how is he going to go how is he going to go ahead and obviously put him on the field of play? We wait and see. Happy Chris, guys. We are still confused with Onana. He makes great saves and allows City Goal and Bruno not on his level, fond of making blind passes. And Onana will come good. Because when you look at the saves he's going to have to make, they've been really on point. Hope you agree with me that he's going to have to make some good saves. But for Bruno Fernandes, I've always said this, guys, that they will play Eriksen as a central attacking midfielder alongside Casemiro and Sofian Amrabat. You guys will let me know. You'll even remind me that Rokani, you are doing a live as United beat Brentford by 2-1. You told us that let's give Eriksen a chance as a number 10 of Man United when he's having Casemiro and Amrabat behind him, or even Danny Van Beek. Danny Van Beek is a better number 10 than Bruno Fernandes. I tell you this because he'll obviously get you what a number 10 gets you. He can find an intricate pass, a pass that is line breaking, and obviously take your team to where it deserves to be. He gets you the control that you want, the quick passing, but Bruno Fernandes cannot do that. He cannot do that, you know. Muoya Precious, David, Onana needs competition from Benel. I don't think you're going to see, guys. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. William, I think we should give Andrew Onana time. That is it. Let's give him time. The man is here. He has been in goal for Man United for like how many games? Premier League, now 8 games played. Champions League, 2 games played. Those are 10. 11 games, and you're judging a goalkeeper? That is really naivety of the highest order. You cannot judge a player I've gone ahead to bring in 11 games. Even Mason Mount, I'm not judging him. That is it. But I'm just giving my perspective that how is he going to get to the team when Amrabat, Casemiro, and Kobe Menu are fit, plus Amad Diallo, you know? Muoya Precious, don't you think Victor Lindelof is doubtful for the next game? He looks to have gotten a back injury. Not really. No, they just took him off because the manager wanted to bring on Anton Martial to add on more bodies in the final third of the pitch and switched Amrabat onto the left back of Manchester United. That's it. That's what happened in there. For he's not injured, and you're going to see him fly for the international league to play for Sweden. That is it. Oyika Moses, no bro, I disagree with you. Bendeir should come. You guys, you've not yet even seen Bendeir act. You know, have you ever seen Bendeir be in goal? Do you know why Ten Hag hasn't gone ahead to even give him a chance when you're playing Crystal Palace into the Carabao Cup? It's because he watches him on the field of play, game in, game out. You get? And Andrew Onana is a proven goalkeeper. He has done it at the highest level possible. You know, all what we need is to see how he performs this season. That is it. Smash the like button close 100 times, guys. Smash the like button close 100 times, guys. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now I'm having Junior Oleikon praise Scott McTominay. Obviously, Scott McTominay is the hero of the day. Scott McTominay is the hero of the day. That is it. He is the hero of the day. And if at all you know, you know. Scott McTominay is the hero of the day and has gone ahead obviously to get us to where we deserve to be, because this win was highly needed and he has gone ahead to make a very huge turnaround. Now, more Precious today for the very first time. I appreciate Harry Maguire. He played very well. Maguire was really decent. Today. Michael Sebunya, Ten Hag fear player. He doesn't fear any player. There is no player Ten Hag fears, because the most loved player is Marcus Rashford by the fans of Man United. But did you hear how the fans celebrated and how the fans really hailed the coming in of Garnacho when Rashford was taken off the field of play? Because when Ten Hag took off Rasmus Højlund for Anton Martial, I think it was what game? It was the game of Brighton. Did you hear the fans booed him because they thought that Rasmus Højlund would have gone ahead to last long on the field of play? So, to my own understanding, it's Ten Hag doesn't fear anyone. Rashford has been taken off. Casemiro, one of the best players in the world, has been taken off today. So, Harry Maguire, the captain, has gone ahead to be dethroned. There is no player that he fears. And trust me, if players like Donny van de Beek come good, even Bruno will be taken off the field of play. That is it. Wanjala Jason, Mctominay, Hongera, thank you for watching in through. Then Levi Kea, Ten Hag, Akopoa. That is Swahili, I don't know what that means, Akopoa. But Michael Sebunya, 2 words mistake done by, how would you miss signing a centre back? That was a mistake. That was a mistake that we obviously going to have to call in through. But let's wait and see how that pans out. Whether obviously is going to save his season. Then Ongom Andrew, let's be patient with Andrew Onana. He will catch fire in time. Yeah, because you've seen him making some reflex saves today. Haven't you seen him make 2 reflex saves in a space of like 2 minutes? He has. Tazenia Robert David, how much did Onana pay Ten Hag? Nothing. But trust me, Ten Hag wanted Onana. That is it. He wanted him. And he got delivered. And trust me, he'll come good. Umal Lucky Ethan, okay, we understand, but he should start Garnacho the game also and Hannibal over Mason Mount. For Onana, he should learn ball timing and when to move. But that goal there was a little bit of deflection when it was hit, but I think Onana would have gone ahead to do better to save us. But for Garnacho, I've been campaigning for Garnacho to start these games. Garnacho deserves a start. Then Michael Sebunya, 2 worst mistake made by Ten Hag. It's missing signing of alright. Then Nyeko Isaac, thank you for watching it through. Isabira Ronald Mulinda, we need to get a starting 11, a starting lineup, and Casemiro needs to style up his game. And it's hard for the manager to get a starting 11. Do you know why? Most of the players have been injured, and some of the players are coming in from injury now. How do you expect him to obviously get a starting 11 that is really consistent? Look, Bissaka is out, Varane is out, Luke Shaw is out, Lisandro Martinez is out, Tyrell Malacia is out, Sergio Reguilon is out. All I know is that we are going to look far much better after the international break, because the manager is going to be having Varane back, Sergio Reguilon back. At least we'll be having a very good back 4. You know, we'll be knowing that Dalot is going to play on the right back, Sergio Reguilon left back, Varane and Lindelof in the central defense. All our prayers should be that these players don't get injured during the international break. That is it. Casemiro, we should pray he comes back fit. Sofiane Amrabat comes back fit. Rashford comes back fit. And the competition is going to intensify. When you look at how Garnacho is going to have to perform today, obviously Rashford is obviously going to go down there and know that, all right, I'm having a huge competitor at the club of Manchester United. That is it. So I think we just need to obviously see to it that we really see our players really return, and see to it that Ten Hag has no any point of really soft spotting himself. Nyeko Isaac, management is still a big problem. We shall need better central defenders since the first choice partnership is injury prone. That is it. Lisandro Martinez is not injury prone, but the problem was the people that really went ahead to obviously do the needful and obviously operate him in the first case, they never operated him very well. When a new doctor has gone ahead to come in throughout Man United, he has gone ahead to really tell them that Martinez should undergo the same operation again. So he has gone ahead to get another operation. But all in all, we need another centre back. That is it. We need another centre back. And bad luck has gone ahead to befall Man United that even Luke Shaw is injured, because you saw it that last time when Lisandro Martinez was injured or Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw could obviously shift into the central defense to play on the left side of the central defense in most of the times. Let's smash the like button close to 100 times. We are having only 43 likes. Let's smash it to 100 times. Then Ongom Andrew, let Mino return. We are just missing him. Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Kobe Menu is going to return after the international break. That is it. Confirmed. He's returning after the international break. That is Kobe Menu. But for Luke Shaw, he might return in November or December. But we all need to do the needful. Then Oyika Moses, bro, see Arsenal with Raya. Yeah, but Raya is a Premier League goalkeeper that is really proven. And trust me, he's not a better shot stopper than Aaron Ramsdale. But the reason as to why Arteta is playing David Raya, it's because that David Raya is a ball or a better ball playing goalkeeper than Aaron Ramsdale. That's why he gets ahead of him. That is it. Chebene Nicholas, I'm very happy for that because it will give us momentum and we win for the next game. Yeah, this by the way gives us a bit of relief. We are going to the international break, returning to play around 20th, 21st. Then we'll be good to go as a club of Manchester United. Moya Precious, bro, we need consistency in Man United. What's going to bring consistency is us winning games. I told you, my huge positive ever since we played Bayern Munich was we were not scoring goals at the beginning of the season. 1 goal against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 0 goals against Tottenham Hotspur, 1 goal against Arsenal, 3 goals against Nottingham Forest, that was good. 1 goal against Brighton, right? But when we went away at Bayern Munich and scored 3 goals, I got to know that we are now good to go, that we've gone ahead to start to score that much of goals. And so it's going to help us take us to the level I want it to be. And that was something great for the club of Man United. And ever since then, you've seen us score goals. 3 against Bayern Munich, 1 against Burnley, 3 against Crystal Palace, 2 against Galatasaray, and today we've gone ahead to put 2 goals past that watertight or that low block of Brentford at Old Trafford. Moya Precious, bro, we need consistency. Mokenya, Michael Sebunya, we need ball carrier seriously. I think if I told you've gone ahead to see what Sofiane Amrabat is all about, we have a very good player, and our midfield is obviously going to improve. I'm talking about De Jong. De Jong is not coming to Man United. He'll never come to Man United. He's going to renew his contract at Barcelona, and he wants to stay there. Moya Precious, when will Roglan come back? When we return from the international break, Sergio Roglan is obviously going to be back and fully fit. Aarons, Rashford and Mason Mount should be benched because Rashford is selfish. Bruno Fernandes is good in the midfield. Thanks, RD. Yeah. Rashford had some moments, and he obviously went ahead to put in some pullbacks and cutbacks, but I think Garnacho is good. Garnacho is good. He acts better in tight spaces than Marcus Rashford. You've seen what threat he brings on the field of play when he came in through. So, Bruno Fernandes should be played in the central attacking side of the midfield, but I need to see him obviously play like the Odegaards, play like the Kevin De Bruyne's, play like the the Luka Modric, because that's what makes you an elite central attacking midfielder. Lucky Ethan, let Rashford have the bench and watch over Garnacho. Is changing the game because Rashford is very selfish. I want Rashford to be benched in the Premier League game because in the game of the Carabao Cup, Garnacho played 90 minutes and played very well. So, I want to see Rashford benched too. Then, Moya Precious. Varane didn't play today. What's wrong with him? Varane is injured. Ten Hag has confirmed to us that he just needs 2-3 days to obviously recover, meaning that by the time we return to play the likes of Man City, Sheffield and Copenhagen, he's going to be a variable. Then, Asimo Dennis, thanks for watching in through. Moses Raboni, what are our next fixtures? The next fixtures of Man United, when we return, we are going to play Sheffield United away from home. Then on Wednesday, we are going to play in the Champions League, that is Copenhagen. That is a must-win game. Then on the 29th of October, we are going to play Man City at Old Trafford. Then, 1st November, Carabao Cup, round of 4. That is it, or round of 16. We play Newcastle at Old Trafford. Then on the 4th of November, we host We play away at Fulham. Then we play away at Copenhagen on the 8th of November. And lastly, we play Luton Town before we go into another international break. Those are our next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fixtures. And I think we are going to be playing these fixtures in a better shape because some players are going to be back. Sergio Reguilon will be back. Tyrell Malacia will be back. Kobe Menu will be back. Rafael Varane will be back. And very many others. So we will be at least having a very good go at our opponents because our players will be back to take us to where we deserve to be. Michael Sebunya, whenever I think that we haven't played Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea, I cry. To me, I don't cry. Do you know why? Because by the time we play Man City, we'll be having a very perfect central defense. Amrabat and Casemiro would have gone ahead to link up very well. Rasmus Højlund would have gone ahead to obviously know how Bruno plays, Rashford, Anthony, and so on and so forth, Garnacho, because he's obviously needing a lot to play. But I've sensed something that should help us a lot. Some games Ten Hag should try out Anton Martial and Rasmus Højlund to start together, because I've seen that Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, and Martial do really have a very good understanding in between themselves. You know, they are very mobile, and the way they obviously do the intricate passes is really great. The way they exchange passes is really one of the best. But I'm not fearing to play Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea because I know if we played them during this time, they're going to hate to get hammered, you know. But because we're not going to play them now, it gives us a chance to obviously welcome other players like Tyrell Malacia, Kobe Menu, Sergio Reguilon, Amad Diallo, and very many others. That is it. Then, but why Manchester all the time use that goalkeeper? Guys, that's an agenda being put onto this guy. But Onana is good. Onana is good. And you should know that the goalkeeping department of Man United struggles a lot. For David De Gea, in his first season, he conceded very many goals, but he became good and reached an exit to be one of the most expensive one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Lucky Ethan, for Bendel, Ten Hag should give him trials of some games. That should have been the Carabao Cup. Michael Sebunya, I wish Saudi clubs come for Rashford. Rashford is here to stay, but I think there is something disturbing him. And that's why some people refer to it as he has gotten his contract. Last season was playing to get the contract. But I know he's a professional and is trying to work out things that are not working out well for him. But if at all he goes in for an easy pass, no one's obviously going to come and really look at him. He should obviously put in a shift by obviously being creative first, and scoring is going to come. It will just come. Asimo Dennis, let the coach start Van de Beek instead of Bruno. Van de Beek will come in slowly by slowly. Asimo Dennis, I'm having Moses Raboni. Will Man United really go through the Champions League? The first test is the Copenhagen game you're playing at Old Trafford. If we beat Copenhagen at Old Trafford and we go around obviously get a win, that is it. We can beat Copenhagen. We can beat, those are 6 points, and we can beat Galatasaray. That is it. Because Galatasaray is not a very huge team that's quite threatening. But the problem is we really fail to maintain that game very well. And Bayern Munich, when they come out Old Trafford, we can beat them. We can beat them hands down, you know. And for Bayern Munich, we might have Lisandro Martinez back, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and very many others. That is it. Then Moya Precious, lastly, I think Rashford is benched for some 2 games. I believe he'll gain back his form. All right, he needs to be benched. With our Onana's mistake, we would be topping our group. Let Onana style up. Yeah, for the 2 Champions League games, Onana really costed us a lot. He did cost us a lot. Michael Sebunya, other teams yearning to get goalkeepers like Onana. Fans are here pushing him out. Onana is a very good goalkeeper. And if you saw the game of Arsenal, you saw to it that the control that we had in our half was because of Andrew Onana. You know, he's a press-resistant goalkeeper. And you're going to see it when you're playing Man City. I think it's going to be around the 8th of November, right? He is obviously a press-resistant goalkeeper and gets us to where we deserve to be as a team. Then, Lucky Ethan, we need all players to show their anger like Garnacho, Amrabat, Højlund. Fans will be happy again. In fact, I like Garnacho, Martial, Højlund transition in the final third. I've noted, I've went ahead, obviously, hint about that because that has gone ahead to catch my eye a lot about the way they've gone ahead to transit into the final third. Now let's go onto the bench and see exactly how, on the table and see exactly how the table is really looking and where United is obviously standing. This is the Premier League table, and this is how it's obviously standing. Spurs 20 points in 8 games, Man City 18 points in 7 games, Arsenal 17 points in 7 games, Liverpool 16 points in 7 games, Aston Villa 15 points in 7 games, Brighton 15 points in 7 games, West Ham 13 points in 7 games, Newcastle 12 points in 7 games, and Manchester United comes ninth with 12 points in 8 games, meaning that we've gone ahead to win 4 games and lose 4 games. Chelsea 11 points in 8 games, and that's where we are. The only teams that can win these places are Crystal Palace. If at all they win, they are playing Nottingham Forest now, and which other? I think that is it. So we are 9th into the Premier League table, and all what we need is we need to win like 3 or 4 consecutive games, and we're going to find ourselves in a position that we all desire to be. And I think after the international break, we are obviously going to get ourselves where we deserve to. But it has been a very good needed win. Then Asimo Dennis, I'm seeing Man United coming as second in this group. Even if we come second, it's all about us going through the group. After going through the group, we will tussle it with anyone we face. You know? Philip Senyonga, why don't you test the other goalkeeper? Guys, that's not how things are really done. Even you see, when David Raya came in through at Arsenal, Ramsdale has been made the second choice goalkeeper. Goalkeepers are not changed like that as you think. Muhammad Kelly, the problem at United, we need a solid defender. We need one defender, and I think if there is a sign that I can predict that Ten Hag is going to make in the January transfer window, it's going to be a central defender. That is it. It's going to be a central defender, and I think he's going to get one, either on a loan or on a permanent deal. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Very huge win. I cannot send a shout out to all of you because you guys have been huge on this channel, but I want to see us hit 100 likes. We're having 100 people watching in through and only 51 likes onto this video. Let's smash this. Let's smash the like button to 100 times. I'm having Muhammad Kelly, the problem at Man United, we need a solid defender. Then be Jura Purita, but we need all players to play with Hoyland attitude. Yeah, you saw to it that when Garnacho came on through Anton Martial, things changed because the intensity was really high and those players are really press resistant. And Ten Hag got it right now this time around because he knew that he needed players that are really good on the ball and act well in tight spaces because the Brentford team was sitting back. So guys, thank you for watching through. Hard fought win. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. For the Muslims, Barak Lau Fiku.